What's up guys, Dreadhead Skater here, back with another video. Today is raining outside, so I was thinking about what I could do, and I'm thinking about doing a story time today, just talking about some of the crazy memories I had with some of my friends. And today we're going to be on the topic of kickouts. And I have been kicked out of plenty of spots for skating, so I got two stories for y'all today. If y'all want more, let me know and I'll do more. But here are the ones I got today. But before we get into the story times, I wanted to talk about this podcast. This podcast is called Absolute Tech. It's run by my brother and some of his friends, and it's really interesting. They talk about like pilot stuff and like just technology. My brother, he's aspiring to be a pilot. But yeah, it's a super interesting podcast. It's just really, I have a great time listening to it. I think y'all would too. So if y'all want to check it out, it's on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and SoundCloud. I'll leave the link for the SoundCloud one in the description. So check that out after this video. Listen to me talk about some crazy kickout stories I have first. But if y'all want to check that out, check it out. All right. Now we're going to get into the story time. All right, so the first story we have is a really interesting one. It's kind of like a miscommunication between us and the person kicking us out. But also, if y'all see me looking down, it's because I have notes. I made notes on these stories because I didn't want to forget any part, because all the details are kind of important for the story. So if y'all see me peeking down like this, it's because I'm looking at the notes I'm writing. All right, but here's the first story. So we were at this spot. It was a handrail spot, a really, really good handrail. It was perfect for like if you wanted to learn how to skate a handrail. I'll throw a video of it that I have in right now. But yeah, it's a super great handrail for just learning how to do handrail tricks. And it was in like the back of the school. If you could see, it was near the back of the school, and what was next to it was kind of like where they throw the garbage out. It was kind of like the trash pickup area for that school. So yeah, we were skating this spot over here, and we noticed that this car just kept pulling up and leaving. Like it would pull up, stop for a second, and then just keep going. And we lived on a military base in Japan, so it was super strict, and we thought that he was probably gonna take our boards away. So every time that he would pull up, we would hide behind like that, where that if y'all watch the video, there was like a brick, right? So we'd hide behind where the brick was. And I mean, I guess the fact that we were hiding did seem kind of sketchy, but the two reasons we hid was because one, we were young and we thought that if he caught us, we'd get in trouble. I don't know. And the second reason was because we didn't want to get our boards taken away. We wanted to land the trick. So every time that the car would pull up, we'd hide behind there. And whenever he left, we'd just go back to skating. So this story was with four other people. Five people, including me and my boy Isaiah. We were trying the tricks on the handrail. My friend Charlie was recording me, and then there were just two other people there just chilling, pretty much just watching us skate the rail. But anyway, yeah, the guy just kept pulling up, and we were getting paranoid. We didn't know like why he kept pulling up. We were super confused. But eventually I was just trying the trick off camera because I wasn't really getting that close to it. But I just kept trying the trick off camera, and everybody else was chilling up on the top platform, and I was going for my trick. And so as soon as the guy pulled up, I was at the bottom of the rail. And when he pulled up this time, he got out of the car. So all my friends, they just took off. They ran away. They didn't want to get their boards stolen. And I was at the bottom of the rail, so I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to get away, because like honestly, I didn't want to get my board taken, so I was thinking about running. So I started to take off, and the guy yelled, "Hey, stop!" And I was like, man, like in my head, I was just like, well, I'm gonna get my board taken. There's nothing much more to it. So when he yelled, "Hey, stop!" for some reason, like I stopped. I listened to him, and he came up to me, and he was like, "What are y'all kids doing here?" And I was like, oh, we're just trying to skate. And he was like, oh, really? That's it? Like, I guess he thought I was lying because he just asked me, are you sure all y'all were doing were skating? I was like, yes, we were just skateboarding here. We were trying to get some tricks. And he was like, oh, well, I thought y'all were doing graffiti or like smoking or doing something bad. Because I guess the area that we were doing in was, or that we were skating in, was kind of not really secluded, but like it was in a place that most people wouldn't just want to walk past, like if they're taking a walk. So yeah, I kept telling him that we were just skating, we weren't doing anything bad. And then he asked, "Well, if all y'all were doing were skating, why did your friends run away?" And I was like, "Well, we thought you were gonna take our boards for skating." And he was like, "Oh no, I thought y'all were doing something bad." So basically, it was just a big misunderstanding because he thought we were doing something bad, but all we were doing was skating, and we thought that he was gonna take our boards. So it wasn't really a kick out because he ended up letting us skate there. He was like, as long as y'all aren't doing anything bad, y'all can skate here. So this one really wasn't a kick out to say, but it was kind of a misunderstanding. So after all that, he left and I went to go find my friends. And keep in mind, we had like a 2 minute conversation, right? It wasn't a long conversation. You just asked what we were doing there, why we were there, and I just told them that we were skating. And I told them why they ran away, right? So I left to go look for my friends after this. And all of them were off the campus and like 3 minutes up the road. And I was like, y'all really just left me behind? Like, not one of y'all waited with me? And the first things I heard out of their mouths were my friend Charlie saying, well, why didn't you run? And my friend Isaiah saying, well, we were about to come back for you. I know good and well y'all weren't about to come back for me. I know y'all usually have my back, but I know that y'all weren't gonna come back to me. But it's cool because the situation was chill. Like, nothing really happened. But yeah, that's the first story I had. I'm trying to think if there was anything else for that story that I missed out, but no, like it was just a misunderstanding, and it was really just kind of funny to me. But yeah, that's the first story. This second story that I have really is a kick out. So, and it was kind of wild. It was fun. But yeah, this one really is a kick out. So it was a rainy day, and we were all just chilling at my friend Charlie's house from the last story. It was me, Charlie, and Isaiah, and we were all chilling at Charlie's house, and like, well, we want to go skate, but it was raining, right? So we were like, well, where could we go? What spot was nearby? Because none of us could drive. Like, keep in mind, I think I was like 13, 13 maybe at the time. So none of us could drive, but we wanted to skate and we wanted to not skate in the rain. So we are thinking about spots nearby that were covered. So we all started thinking about spots that we could possibly go to that was covered, right? And my friend Charlie said, well, why don't we go to KES? And just let me tell y'all, KES is a bust, right? Like we mostly only went on weekdays, which we thought was the reason why it was so much of a bust. But like after this, we know it's every single day. You can't really get anything there. And I guess this is kind of like a mix between our fault. Well, it it really kind of was our fault because we've all been told there a couple times each not to skate there, but we thought it was because it was on weekdays and they might have had after school clubs. So that's why we thought that they kept kicking us out. So we tried a Saturday. And my friend Charlie, he lives super close to the spot, so we figured, well, we'll go there, and if they do tell us not to skate there, at least we'll have a little bit of time to skate there. So we thought maybe we'd be able to skate there for a little bit, so we tried it. We went down there, and we started skating for a little bit. I think we skated for about like 10 minutes. And within those 10 minutes, the principal came right out of her office. And let me give y'all like a layout of the spot. So there was the front office like right over here, like in like I don't know if my hand really makes sense, but here's the front office of the school. and the spot was like right over here. It was a ledge, and it was a good ledge. Like if you wanted to learn a trick off of something that was bigger than a curb, you'd go there because the ledge was smooth, the ground was smooth, and it was covered, so you could really go there on rainy days. But yeah, it was super close to the office, and we'd been skating there, like I said, only about 10 minutes when the principal just came out screaming, like super mad. And we'd never seen this lady before, right? And she was like, "That's it. I'm tired of y'all skating here. I'm tired of being nice. I'm about to call the cops." And we were like, "Really?" And we were super shocked because usually what would happen was like if they did tell us to not skate there, because usually if people would walk by, they'd just be like, most teachers would be like, "Oh, that's cool," and then maybe someone else would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but you guys can't skate here." And we're just thinking like maybe after school clubs or something, right? But for some reason she just freaked out and said she was calling the cops. And so she walked back in her office, and as soon as she walked back in her office, we all just took off. We were gone. We all looked at each other and we just took off. And again, we were young. We thought that if she called the cops, we'd maybe get KDAB meetings or like community service or get our boards taken. But if she called the cops and we stayed, they probably would have just told us to leave. Like nothing. It wasn't really that big of a deal. But in our young minds, we were like, we need to get out of here. We're gonna get in trouble. So we all took off. And to this day, I don't really know if she was bluffing, like if she's like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll just scare him off." But it worked for us because we were gone. And in the beginning of this story, I kind of mentioned that my friend Charlie lives super close to the spot, right? And I know what y'all are thinking. Okay, so y'all just ran home. No. I don't know what was going through our minds, but instead of just running up back to his house, we ran through like this kind of like back area where it was like grassy and the grass was flooded. Like I said, it was raining, right? So we ran through this area where it was super grassy and flooded to a nearby park that had a covering. And I don't know why we didn't just, maybe we were scared that like the cops would see us running up the, I don't even know. But so we ran to that area and we just chilled there and waited till it kind of slowed down raining, and we ran back to his house, which doesn't make sense why we didn't just run back to his house in the first place if we left at all. But yep, we ran back to his house after the rain slowed down, and that's really the end of that story. Wait. All right, so I forgot to mention this part, but my friend Charlie actually went to the school, right? And like I said, this was the principal. So every time after that day that he saw the principal, he said that she gave him bad, dirty looks, and I just thought that was so funny. But yeah, that's that story. So if y'all like those stories, please let me know. I have plenty of more stories I have from just going around and skating with my friends. So if y'all want me to do more, then I'll do more of these. And yeah, if you enjoy this video, please leave a like, please comment if you want me to do more of these, and please subscribe to this channel if you're new. And yeah, that's basically it. Like I said in the beginning, check out the podcast Absolute Tech. It'll be in the description down below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.
I got racks, yeah, my cash straight, yeah, been had that, been right that, boy, you mad late, yeah, I got racks, so this girl keep tryna tax me.